Jesus in the Gospel of John, the Word incarnate. John 1:1 says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." John's Gospel is the most theological of the four, and this is arguably most clearly seen in his opening verse. Here, John seems to be addressing the Gnostics of his time, who believed that it was a special revelation or word which would bring them salvation. Amazingly, in the span of one sentence, John notes the eternity, the unity, and the deity of the Word with a capital W. Let's look at each of these three. First, in the beginning was the Word. God created the world by speaking it into existence. In Genesis 1 verse 3, it reads, "And God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light." God created through his words, and when we take John's opening verse and Genesis chapter 1 together, we find that God created the world through the Word, speaking of the Son, Jesus. He was present at the beginning of creation and took part in creating. While Jesus took on humanity and was born to Mary, Jesus eternally existed as the divine Son. Next, the Word was with God. Jesus was with God. In the triune Godhead, there is one God who exists as three persons. The three persons are perfectly united to one another, Father to Son, Son to Spirit, Spirit to Father, and participate with one another perfectly. They are co-equal and co-eternal. Finally, and the Word was God. Jesus is God. It was important that Christ was fully human so that he could act as an appropriate substitute for sinful humanity on the cross, but it was also important that he was fully divine so that he could take on God's wrath and pay the eternal penalty for sin. Jesus is eternally existent. Jesus is the Son in the Trinity. Jesus is God. John was addressing the Gnostics of his time who believed that it was a special revelation or word which would bring them salvation. Here, John writes that the Word is the Son of God, and through the Word become flesh, there is salvation for those who repent of sin and place their faith in Jesus Christ.